Yeah, okay.
Okay, so now we are recording and we don't lost anything, I guess. Please go ahead, Niraj.
Yeah, okay, sure. Hello everyone. My name is Neeraj, and I am a pre-final year UG student from India. And as a part of Linux Foundation mentorship program, I was working on expanding multiple database drivers for the Vela UX. Yeah. So let me share my screen so I can share you guys about my work. Yeah, I think the screen sharing is disabled for me.
Oh, okay, so I'll give you permission.
Okay.
Okay, I have permit you to share your screen.
Yeah, I got the permission. So is it visible?
Yeah, I see your screen.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, my project was divided into two parts. First one is expanding the database drivers. So previously, Velavx was supported with MongoDB and KubeAPI, but now it is supported with MySQL as well as PostgreSQL. So my work was to introduce SQL database drivers into the Vela UX, and like for this, I have to implement different methods of data store. So I implemented all these methods like the new add, batch add, delete, put, is exist, delete. Yeah. So first I added the MySQL database drivers, and after that, I was planning to work on the database migrator part, but one of the contributor added the database driver for Postgres. So this part is over, and the second part was to introduce a migration tool for migrating database across different database drivers of WebIX, so that uh, the existing users can migrate to MySQL database without any hassle. So I was working on the LiveX database migrator, and it is a command line tool used for migrating the data from across different database drivers, and it is a simple tool. For this, just we have to write a config file in YAML or in JSON format, anywhere, in any format you like, and it should have three to four configurations. So it should have the source database URL, its type, and its the database name. Also the target URL type, URL, and its database name. Also, there is one thing, that is what to do, what actions to perform if there is an duplicate entry found. The user can either can choose to skip or to update, or if nothing is mentioned, then the migrator will throw an error. Also the user has have the capability to choose which tables to migrate, such as, let's suppose, a Vela user or a Vela application or a Vela components, anything, and just run a Vela mg migrate, and provide the path of the config file. So let me show an example. uh, Here is the config file, and I am migrating the data tables from MySQL to QAPI, and let's suppose I am choosing to uh, update the entries whenever there is a duplicate entry found. And so let's run this. Just you have to run Vela mg migrate, and give the path to the config file, and then it is done. All the the all the tables are migrated. And let's see if we don't choose to update or skip when there is a duplicate entry found. So just it will uh, it will try migrating the tables, and if there is error found, then it will roll back and it will delete the entries from the table whenever needed, and also it will restore if there is some update or update action is performed. Yeah. So that's all from my side.
Yes, cool, Niraj. Okay, I have some questions. First one about extending the Value UX database driver. Uh,
Yeah.
is it possible for extend by your work to extend more database drivers?
Yeah, yeah,
Because you can show how to do it
yeah,
shortly.
yeah, sure. So uh, we are using GOM package for connecting to the SQL servers, and it has support of Amazon SQL, Oracle SQL, and other SQL databases. And if someone wants to just add another database driver, which is a relational database, it just needs to like uh, nothing needs to be done. Uh, just we need to change the here we need to change the input to the given the new database package, which is just if let's suppose we want to uh, like add Oracle SQL, just replace this with the MySQL GOM with Oracle SQL GOM or anything you like, and all the its package name, and just replace the MySQL GOM with Oracle SQL, and it's all done. And since it uses a lot of repetitions, it like there are a lot of repetitions. I am planning to merge all the uh, SQL database drivers to a single one, so that just uh, we need to provide the this initializations method, and all other methods will be already there. So just we need to extend this for the new database drivers.
Yeah, that's excellent. Uh, okay, so does anyone else have questions about Niraj's work?
I'm just confused. Is that a driver? Is that a data store?
Can you
Uh,
repeat?
Oh, I was just thinking, is that a driver or a data store? Maybe the terminology is a bit confusing. Is this because
Lakshman,
we're not
GOM is a
writing any
GOM,
driver, right, for to
no,
that
no, no.
database?
GOM is a ORM tool, just like Hibernate
Yeah.
is for Java.
Yeah,
So
it's not a driver, right?
you can give it
No.
any driver, and you can connect to any database, is what I believe Neeraj mentioned.
Yeah, GOM has support of 5 to 6 database, so you can like extend to any of them.
yes, let me, uh, yeah, GOM is a database arm, so you can connect Golang with any secure databases it supports. And by driver, in ValueX, we mean how to convert an object in ValueX to a record in the databases. That's what we call it. That's what we call a driver. That's what
Yeah,
a driver means in ValueX.
No, got it. Thanks for the explanation.
Okay, so yeah, further questions, or you can uh, we can we can push it later. And now, Andrew, Are you prepared?
Yes. Yeah, I can share my screen. Give me a second.
Tiens, on m'a donné une claque au travail. Faut vous la mettre. Je ne voulais pas, on devait mettre dans le garage. À la maison, ce sera beau.
I'm sorry, Jiro, I want to talk. I just mute you.
Yeah, I think he was talking internally. That's okay.
Okay, are you guys able to see my screen?
Yeah, perfectly.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll give a quick demo for my project. Yeah, so here's a little bit of me. My name is Duaning, or you can call me Andrew. I'm a student at University of Southern California, and I study computer engineering, computer science. And yeah, here's a little bit about the project. So my project was to build the TypeScript and Java SDK for the KubeVela for Vela UX. So pretty much I'll be building the TypeScript SDK to perform all the KubeVela API actions, and the SDK is built with this swagger.json file in the Vela UX directory. So I can, yeah, so this it's pretty much defines all the API definitions and all the API endpoints and the response formats for all the API endpoints in the Vela UX server. And yeah, so I use this swagger.json file and use OpenAPI generator to generate the SDK, and I use TypeScript and just to be able to test the SDK code. And yeah, so I'll be kind of talking about the usage of my SDK. So first of all, when using the SDK, you need to log in and obtain a access token in order to perform any actions using the SDK. So here's a code snippet of how you log in and set the access token. So the SDK usage is really dependent on this configuration variable. This is where you set the base URL of your Vela UX server, and this is also where you set the access token. And this code snippet you can pretty much just copy and paste, and you can use it on your application. And yeah, after you set the access token, you then look at the parameter type of the action you want to perform. So for example, here I want to perform a delete application action, and I look at the delete application function definition in the SDK, and we can see that it wants a delete application request parameter type. And then I look at the type definition, we can see this is the delete application request type. Sorry. We can see this is what the type looks like, where it wants an app name of a type string. So now with this in mind, in order to actually perform this delete application action, I will have to declare a variable of this delete application request type, and then pass it into the delete application function. So yeah, this is like the general walkthrough of how to use the SDK. And I can show a quick demo of creating an application with the SDK. Yeah, so here we can see that this new app is being added in the list of applications. And yes, this create application action was able to get a successful response. And we look at the server side, the actions we performed, we were able to get a 200 response for creating the application. And yeah, I have another demo to create to delete the application we just created. Yeah, so now we list all the applications again. We can see that the application we just created is not here anymore. And yeah, we can see that in the delete request, we were able to get a 200 status as well. So yes, we are able to see some simple actions being performed by the SDK. Yeah, so moving on next, I will be talking about briefly going over some challenges I encountered while developing the SDK. So the first issue was using the OpenAPI generator. So the OpenAPI generator, there were about like 3 options to how you can generate the TypeScript SDK. Yeah, it took some trial and error to generate the correct one, and some of the generated code were not correct, so I had to manually modify some of the code generated. And another thing was kind of lack of resources. So sometimes when I encounter a error while using the KubeVela API. I'm sorry, while using the SDK. But if I encounter an error, there wasn't much resources online I could find where people face issues using the KubeVela API. And also there were some minor server-side bugs that introduced some issues with some of the SDK actions, but we were able to resolve a lot of bugs. And finally, I'd like to mention that currently this SDK is being published to NPM. So it is published it is already published for public use. The package is called Vela UX TypeScript SDK, and here's a link for it. And finally, yeah, I'm just opening up for questions, and I also would like to thank my mentor Qiao Zhongpei for being really supportive and guiding me through this project. And I also like to thank Niraj for a lot of the help he was able to give me. Niraj helped me set up the debugger. So yeah, it was really great being able to work with my mentor Qiao Zhongpei and Niraj, and I really have learned a lot throughout this journey. So yeah, I'm just opening for questions, and let me know if anyone has any questions.
This is great.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, if no questions.
Yeah, I have some questions.
Okay.
Okay. Actually, I have quite a lot of questions.
Okay.
The first one, have you dig into how ValueX check authorize a user or authenticate a user? You said you have generated an API for login, and you will get a token from that login API, right? But did you know that a login will expire like in a setting time, like 2 hours, and it will expire? Have you checked that, and did you plan to solve that?
Yes, so like currently the solution is, and the solution, like the way I've been using it, the SDK is just to perform the login, like perform the login like every time to when I execute a action on the, like when I like every time I execute an SDK action, I log in. I do the login. So that's currently how I've been using it.
Yeah, so it's okay for development, but for production use, I think if user initialize a client for ValueX, it should take care of the acquiring the token and refresh the token, and that can be that are both they are both APIs of ValueX API server. But yes, it should be done, I guess. Yeah, but I guess it's not being taken care of now, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, I can also look into it, look into using the refresh token. But yeah, so yeah, so to me, I've
Yeah,
been.
it's fine, okay. Take care. Okay, so the next question is, you mentioned that you have changed some error generated code or wrong generated code manually. Yeah, it's not very good for for an SDK relying on manual operations. Do you have any ideas to automate the changes by scripting or something like that?
Yeah, so like some of the issues, so like one issue with the generated code was like the request header was allowing both a JSON. No, the request header was like accepting only XML header. So it was like it was like JSON/XML. It was accepting this type of header, but in reality, it should be accepting application JSON. So so I have to go to the code and manually and change out the all the type of the header accepted to be application JSON. And one idea I have for like automating this is to is to go to the Swagger and JSON file and maybe remove all the field with application XML. So only allowing application JSON as the only type of allowed header. And another issue I was having was with the configuration type I was showing earlier. Like the generated code wasn't allowing access token to be set. Like it only allows you to like read a access token, but you cannot set it. So yeah, I had to like manually add that and allowing access token to be set. So
I get. Okay. I guess the both questions are able to be automatically changed via some like Python script or Bash shell script. It's just a replacement or adding some code. You can deal it later before the project closing, and I guess this will be the last several challenges you meet.
okay, so you mean like writing a script to like automatically do those like to modify the generated code?
Yes, because at least you should leave some document about how to do it. Because if you just do it manually, it's harder for others to know what do you do to the generated code. They can't reproduce what you do.
Okay, I see. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I can work on it.
Yeah, because it's not only one people to maintain the project, it's a community.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes. Okay. About TypeScript SDK, I guess Andrew has do a lot, and we have some before we have some plans actually. We are about to replace all the original API calls from Vela UX frontend to the TypeScript SDK. But I guess this is not a target about this Linux Foundation mentorship. But we can do the replacement later if anyone in the community are interested in that. And also the TypeScript SDK is important because it is actually prepared for the Vela UX plugin system. So the plugin developer can make use of the SDK to avoid the API path joining and string joinings something like that. That's our plans for what we can do for in KubeVela UX TypeScript SDK. I guess if anyone have any questions to Andrew and his job, you can raise it now. Okay, I guess no one. Okay, thanks Andrew and Niraj. You guys have contributed a lot to our to the community, and I just want to say thank you to bring so much impressive and important features to the project, and hopefully you can make further contributions in the future if you have time. I guess you are about to attend be an intern, right? Doesn't matter. And anyone else can take the experience from this project, from the works from them, and do the extending themselves. Okay, I'm not preparing too much by myself for this meeting, and I'm still on the document about how application controller reconcile, but I'm still not finished. So if no one, let me check. Yeah, okay. So the last thing, I guess I want to share a Google document. You can attach yourselves on the attendees. Okay, I just sent a Google document link. If you have them, please send yourself in that. I don't have anything else. Anyone, if you have a topic or questions, feel free to ask.
Lakshman, Lena, do you guys have anything from Guidewire?
I don't.
So
Lakshman, were you asking something?
yeah. So one second. So there was some Vela workflow upgrade was failing from point 0.5.0 to 0.6.0. I'm still looking into debug that issue, but I posted in KubeVela dev channel. I'm not sure whether that's the right channel. I can post it back in Guidewire KubeVela or the regular KubeVela channel.
Just post it in the KubeVela channel. Sorry. Sure. I'll take that. Lakshman.
We're still debugging it. I just want to let you know that.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Cool. Looks like no other questions from us.
Okay. Further questions, you can raise it in the Slack channel. Okay. Guess that's all for today's community call. Thank you everyone for attending. Thanks Niraj and Andrew for your work.
Thank you everyone for joining.
Okay. Bye everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye everyone.
All right, thank you.
Bye.